Welcome back to The Talk. As promised, I am here with my good friend Mandy L. Cantrell. Hi, Mandy.
Hey.
Thank you for coming back.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, Mandy is a fabulous writer. In fact, this was her first book, and I'm going to share a little bit with you about it. It's 1988, and school is back in session at Fairview High. That means freshly waxed floors, the sound of lockers slamming, and bells ringing through the halls. For one student, the challenge of a new school and new friends will be just the beginning of what she faces her freshman year when she meets Trace Airing, an older boy with a dark secret. Pursued by Trace, almost immediately, she is captivated by his mystery as well as his persistence. In her search to learn more about Trace, she soon finds herself drawn into a strange new world, seeking help from an unlikely source. Mandy, that is mysterious.
Yes, it is.
And I will say that I have already read this, and I read it over a weekend. For me, that is a fast read because I will come and go, and I like to take my time and just let it happen. Get into the imagination, and this is a good one to get into the imagination with because it's one of the reasons is it's set in the 80s, and you and I both like the 80s.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So what inspired this book?
Okay, so this book actually came from a chapter I wrote years ago. I think it was 2006 in another book I was working on that I never did publish. But I pulled this out and said, you know, I like this. And I sort of just played with it, and I stretched it from a chapter to a book. And I like where it went.
And I love the whole kind of mystical, if you will. There's definitely that in there without giving too much away. But it's like watching one of the movies from the 80s that's kind of spooky and good. And the characters, you do such a good job of developing your characters and making people want to learn more about them. You have a fabulous conversational style. So clearly, I recommend this book.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do like writing the characters, and I try to keep it the conversation, I guess, comfortable and what we're used to, so it does flow quicker with these books. Yeah.
You do a good job of that. So now tell me about this. Well, I'll let you tell about it.
All right. So this is my next book, Trace's Notebook 8788. And this book right here, the first one, left a lot of questions unanswered. And that was obviously on purpose, but this book gives a lot of those answers. I would say most of those answers. It does leave you with some more mystery, but it's Trace writing a notebook for school. His teacher says you have to keep a notebook, you have to journal, and he won't read it. So it's really Trace's only outlet with everything that he's going through. So you get I wouldn't say a softer side, but you get in to where Trace is coming from with this book. And it's Trace's Notebook 8788. So it's his 8th grade year of middle school. And he's sharing everything. So if you liked this, you definitely want to know what happens.
Oh, I do. After I read this, I was like, Mandy, are you going to do another book?
Yeah.
Can I show? Okay, I'm going to show. I'll probably put something up that can show better. But it looks so much like the notebooks that kids have, and I even see one of my best friend Shelly's name on here.
Yeah, there's some surprises there. If you look through, you'll see some names.
Yeah, yep. And what about rock and roll? Because we all know rock and roll was better in the 80s.
Oh yeah. So I say this is a spooky little series now since it's spreading out, and with an 80s rock and roll soundtrack. So I pull that in as much as I can. There's some limitations on what you can add, but yeah, it definitely, the music plays a big role. In fact, I am doing Trace merch now, selling merchandise.
Yes, I saw that online. Tell me about it.
Okay, so Rock and Shop in Cartersville, it's sort of the old school vinyl shop. It's a perfect fit. I'm selling merchandise for there that's related to the book, to the characters, and some of that's just sort of a wink and a nod to people who know the books, and to others, it's just cool 80s look.
Sure.
So that's exclusively at Rock and Shop, and he carries my books as well. So I'm going to be adding more things, and actually when Halloween comes, I'm going to have a whole new line for that.
Ooh.
That will be a little darker, a little edgier, but still 80s. Yeah.
And you have another book coming out.
I do. So I have the next one in line, which actually will follow the first book. So as there were questions at the end of this book, this takes you back to how he got there, and this one tells you where he left off. So that's called The Tracks of Trace Airing, and it's due out this October for Halloween.
Nice. Very nice.
Super excited.
So to get these books, you can go to the shop, which was Rock and Shop
In Cartersville.
Or
Amazon.
Okay.
Always Amazon. Yep.
Perfect. And of course, again, this is Mandy L. Cantrell, extraordinaire.
I'll take that.
So, anything else going on in your life?
Well, I'm working on a book called The Collector at the same time, and that's another. It's kind of 80s in the fact that it's sort of like the old creep shows, the Tales from the Crypt, and there's a collector. It's an older gentleman who has a curiosity shop. And he's selling stories, not items. So he gives you the story that you need at the time. And those are a little spooky. And there's 3 of those stories in the book. And they are sort of warnings for what not to do. It's called 3 Wayward Tales, the collector's 3 Wayward Tales. So,
interesting.
Yeah, so when you get off track and you get that tap, hey, don't do that, we don't listen.
Oh, that's happened to me before. Believe me, that has happened. We're almost out of time, but I need you to tell me about your auction.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the Collector's Auction, it's every Thursday night live on Facebook. It's normally at 9. This week we've got a special. I will be at Rock and Shop. I'll be on at 8. So you can look at my Facebook page, Mandy L. Cantrell. Please follow me, and you'll learn more about everything that I'm doing because I'm sharing weekly, and I will have 3 items up for bid on a regular basis. It's a little different this week because I'll be sharing all my Trace merch.
Well, and also she her own curiosity curio, I guess you could call it. She has put some of that merchandise out there, and it comes with a story too.
It does. Yeah, I started off with a kidney stone. So that's the kind of stories we're talking about.
And whose kidney stone was that?
It was my grandmother's. Yeah, it was my grandmother's, and it's very large, so it is quite the curiosity.
And a story comes with it?
Story comes with everything.
Awesome. I love that. Well, we are sadly out of time because we could talk all day long, but I promise I'll have Mandy back, and the rest of you, I'll see soon.